Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome
Shalom.
to Temple Bethor. Happy Shabbat and happy Independence Day weekend. Let us remember how proud we should be to live in the country this free, the land of the free and the home of the brave indeed. Let us remember those who gave their lives in defense of our country this weekend. As we're having fun and watching the fireworks after a 2-year hiatus, let's also pause for a moment and think of them. A couple of announcements. Don't forget about our fireworks booth, open from 10 in the morning till 9 at night. It's one of our biggest fundraisers, so if you're allowed to have fireworks, please support our booth. In addition, we have a fundraiser of Honey from the Heart. Free shipping ends this coming week. It makes a lovely gift for family, friends, and even for yourself, and we get a small portion of the amount. I want to thank David Youngman for pinch hitting as Rabbi this week. Rabbi Mark is on vacation, camping out somewhere in the wilderness. Of course, Cantor Ken, and our companyist, Dr. Ray Irwin, and our techies, Phil Carey, Chris Jastok, and Arjun Rama. Sorry, Arjun, I know who you are. I'm looking right at you. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and an enjoyable holiday.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is a special day, not just because I'm up here. It's the 4th of July, which gives me great honor. As some of you know, I'm a naturalized American citizen. Therefore, I had to go through the process. I had to go to school, and I was tested in person at the federal building. And you know, they have to make sure you can read and speak English. And I had to write a sentence. Do you know what the agent made me write? I like to pay taxes. And he didn't have a smile on his face, so
We wanted to find you're a good citizen.
Yes, true story. So, I am David Youngman. I will be your lay rabbi for the night. And Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is Shabbat, so let's relax. Let's take deep breaths, and let's do it together because I need to do it, okay? So let's take some deep breaths, put everything out of our mind. No news, no politics, no traffic. Let's let the Shabbat in. Cantor, do you have something for us?
Yes, I believe on your podium is some of the greetings for Shabbat.
Yes, we have some Shabbat Shalom greeting from Ted and Noel Singer, Jeff and Wilma Shear, and Lillian and Eileen McNella. And that's all the special announcements that I have for tonight. Okay. We are going to do a reading on page 7. Where has this week vanished? It is lost forever. Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide.
And we will continue our service with our opening song, Lechuna Ranana. You can find it in your Sidurim on page 12. Page 12. Lefuneranena, lai, 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 la Adonai, lai, 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 Naria, lai, 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 Litzuishenu, lai, 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 lai. Let us sing out to God, the Master of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation, from mountain to sea, hear our song. Lefuneranena, lai, 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 la Adonai, lai, 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 Naria, lai, 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 Litzuishenu, lai, 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 lai. For all of the wonder in all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lefuneranena, lai, 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 la Adonai, lai, 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 Naria, lai, 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 Litzurishenu, ya, lai, lai, ya, lai, lai.
We're going to read on page 3. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
And my pleasure to call upon Leslie Berger, our chair of the Ways and Means Committee, to lead us in the candle blessings. You can find them on page 2. Hold this. I know, but this is what you get.
What's a little water packs? Baruch atah, is it on? Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chadlik shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay, we're going to continue at the bottom of page 27. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of the withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest may day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We're going to continue on page 30.
Continue with the Baruch Hu. Please rise as you are able. La 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
I believe everybody can be seated. Yes? Okay. We are on page 30 now. Sorry about that, Cantor. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bedavro ma'ariv aravim, בחכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמורותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. We continue on page 31 at the top of the page. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch ata Adonai hama'ariv aravim. I believe we do the Shema now, Cantor?
We continue now on page 33, reading at the top. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Continue now on page 34, 35 with the Shema. And please rise as you are able. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated, and we will continue with the Ve'ahavta to chant on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Okay, we continue on top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternal Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Through our failings are many, and our faults are great. It has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, nora tehilot, osei fele, malechutecha, Rahuvanecha. Hayam לפני משה ומרים, זה ויענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. לה 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 La 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 la
We continue on page 43 in the middle of the page. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety. And in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, alenu ve'al kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Thank you, Cantor. We continue on page 47. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depends on you. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, not mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I have given my answer.
Continue now with our tefillah, our central prayers. We begin on page 46 with Adonai Sefatai. Please rise as you are able. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufiyagi Tehilatecha Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufiyagi Tehilatecha Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufiyagi Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei hakol V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot U'mevii geula livnei v'neihem Leman shemo be'ava Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמנת על חיות הכל Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'kol yom yahalalucha salah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. be seated.
We continue on page 61?
55.
55? Yes, on page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arise from the shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the disillusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be the time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. All right. Skipping 57, Cantor? All right, we're on page 61 at the bottom of the page. Lo yaseh goy el goy cherev, velo ilmedu od milchama. Nation shall not take up sword against nation, and shall never again know war. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whomever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first.
Continue with the singing of Shalom Rav. Find the words on page 6. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Tov einecha levarech et Amecha Yisrael bechol eit ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Now we come to the part of our service, the Mishaberach, where we remember our loved ones who are not doing well and need a prayer of healing. And Rabbi, I have a question mark. So which prayer are you going to do tonight for Mishaberach?
Don't raise me up to Rabbi, but
Oh,
I'll
okay.
stay at Cantor.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Cantor.
No, please. So, yes, so we are around page 60 or so, and
It starts on 252, but we have several.
actually 252, and actually in my, I'll just say a few words about that. We at this moment we know so many people who are continuing to struggle because of COVID, because of the emotional difficulties of isolation, and are trying to come out of that. And we have everybody at some level has some form of pain that we're going through, and others some more than others. So at this moment, we think specifically, particularly about those who are amongst us, friends, family, fellow congregants, members of our community who are on beds of pain, whether or not it's spiritual or emotional or physical. And so we will sing now together the. I know I shouldn't have said that. I don't. But it's in spirit. We sing together the Misha Berach prayer. There'll be a moment in the middle for you to mention out loud those whom you are particularly remembering at this time.
It's the middle of 253.
Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Emma, Rechamim, Muriel, Scott.
Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing, Refuah Shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And at this moment, we come to our silent meditation. Many years, in fact, well over 1,000 years ago, our Siddur was not yet codified. And many of these prayers were actually pronounced out by the reader extemporaneously, was thinking about the meanings of the prayers and would pour forth his interpretations. And there was this sense of freedom within the service that we don't have, but we still maintain this wonderful moment of silent meditation where we can look inside our own hearts and add a prayer that can only come from inside of us, that cannot be codified in words on a page. So we take a moment now to listen to the words of our own hearts. Iu le razon imre fi vegion dibi lefanecha. Iu le razon imre fi vegion libi lefanecha. Adonai tsuri, Adonai tsuri, Adonai tsuri vegoali. Adonai tsuri, Adonai tsuri, Adonai tsuri vegoali. Again, Shabbat Shalom. And I always love when Shabbat comes close to the 4th of July, actually not on 4th of July itself, but it's always wonderful to bring it into a weekend. And I was thinking about some of the ways that we as Jews have been so blessed to be in this nation, and to be blessed that we didn't have to completely blend in, but flourished in our own ability to express ourselves, express our faith without fear of any reprisals, retributions, and so on and so on. And I thought that what might be a very sweet way to celebrate our Jewishness, our American Jewishness, was through song. And there are a few melodies that I'd like to sing for you. The first one it's probably not going to be a melody you will know. It was from a musical that came about approximately 100 years ago by the songwriters Perlmutter and Wohl, and the person who wrote the words for this was none other than Boris Tomaszewski. Has anybody ever heard of the conductor in San Francisco called Michael Tilson Thomas? Guess what Thomas is short for? Tomaszewski. He had a long history in his family of coming from a very, very musical family. And so he continued on that. And so these are some of the words that he wrote for the song from the musical called The Green Millionaire, Die Grüne Millionär. And this was a song about just an unfiltered joy and celebration of being in America. I'll read you the words in English, and then I'll sing it for you. So it says, "You little America, you little land, you are a wonder, I swear. God's presence rests on you. We should live this way. Wars, guns, human blood, we don't need that misery. A governor or a tsar? Completely unnecessary. Oh, it's good. Everybody sing together. Long life to Columbus. Drink a toast, my brothers. Long live Columbus, and to this new land, be happy. Don't believe those blowhards. Shout out, Jews. Long live Columbus. And so here is how it sounds in Yiddish. Amerika, Medinele, Mchayech leben. Es ruht auf ihr Eschinele, wir sollen also leben. Milchomes, Bixen, Menschenblut, darfen wir auf Zeures. A Gouvernanter darf nicht, a Kaiser auf Kapores. Eis ist gut, singt sie alle mit, o leben soll Columbus. Trink Friede, Lechlechaim, leben soll Columbus, euch vor dem Land dem Nahem, seid zufrieden, lebt nicht in die Trombis, streit jeden, leben soll Columbus. Ole. And so this was a song of just unbridled joy at being in the golden Medina, the golden land. I'm not taking this guitar away. I'm still going to be playing it with you for a little while. And so the next song might be a song that might be a little more familiar to you. Some people say it's the second most popular song ever written in the United States. And a little bit of a history to this song, that there was a man who was an Episcopalian, and his name was Jack Norworth, and he decided he wanted to write a song about America's favorite pastime. Is that pinochle? Baseball. Baseball. So he wrote this poem. It says, "Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the park. Buy me some peanut." You know the rest of it. And he didn't write the song. He wrote the poem. And then for a while there were some competing song versions, but the one song that really struck a nerve was written by a guy named Albert von Tietzer. Albert von Tietzer. Good German guy, right? Well, actually, his original name was Gumninsky. So he wasn't German nobility. He was a Jewish guy who wrote this song, and lo and behold, it became a huge hit. A little bit of a trivia that neither the poet nor the composer really ever watched baseball at all. However, their melody, and that's bizarre, their melody, though, caught fire. And now, of course, could you ever imagine going to a baseball game where you wouldn't hear this during the seventh inning stretch? Be impossible. And so I'd like you to hear this song which was sung for some people in Yiddish because they couldn't understand the English when they came in. So this is Neemt mich mit zu der Ballgame. Nehmt mich mit zu der Ballgame, zu Eulen lo mir doch gehen. Kauf mir die Nieslach und Cracker Jacks. Ich will kein Mal von dort euch weg, jetzt sing Mut, lieber Spieler. Es passt nicht, als man verspielt. Preislich 1, 2, 3 Streiks und Eis bei der Baseballspiel. Spielball! And so this just shows how quickly Jews just said, yes, I love this America, and not just being here. I'm gonna take part in the pastimes, and their games are gonna be my games, and of course, very, very quickly, Jews were very much in the parts of industry which was easy to get into, i.e. music. And so music and entertainment, that was really open. And so many, from that point on, so many of the great writers of Hollywood and Broadway were Jewish writers. This was one of their great opportunities in the Golden Land. And one of the most beloved of these writers, of musical writers, was, of course, a guy named Izzy Balin. Anybody know who Izzy Balin is? Irving Berlin! That's right. Well, so not only did the von Tilzer take a new name, so did Irving Balin, Izzy Balin. So Irving Berlin, and of course, while the threat of war was coming in the late 30s, he wrote this hymn, which definitely became a great cry of unity and of joy and of pride of being an American. And we will revisit this song again at the end of service. We will sing it in the usual English, but this song has often as well been sung in Yiddish as well. So we will get to hear Gott bench America. God bless America. Gott bench America, Land, was ich lieb. Steh sie bei ihr, Madrig sei ihr, überleicht das Schall uns so lieb. Von die Bergen bis zu die Prairies, bis die Yamen weiß mit Schäum. Gott bench Amerika, mein süßer Heim. Gott bench Amerika, mein süßer Heim. And so this just gives this little taste of how quickly Jews became a part of the fabric of the United States, and it's hard to imagine America without our presence, without all the beautiful contributions we've given. And so when we celebrate 4th of July, I hope that we remember all the sweetness that has come from being a Jew who's free in America. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. That was beautiful, Cantor.
Thank you, sir.
I love your Yiddish songs. The last time I heard them, in Israel, I grew up in Israel, and Yiddish was kind of, But some of the older cockers, you know,
Yeah.
they had to give them radio time. So on Saturday afternoon, on Shabbos at 4, there was the 2-hour Yiddish, 2 hours, and they had music, the one who was singing. So I remember some of the stuff you used to sing in previous services. I've never heard them for 50 years.
Yeah.
And comedy was a big thing for them, you know, Yiddish comedy.
Sure.
So thank you for bringing back some of those days.
Thank.
Next here we're going to do should be Aleinu.
Yes.
So Cantor, by the way, the services are beautiful. Dr. Irwin, Cantor, that was absolutely wonderful. I love your Yiddish, really.
Thank you. And
Thank
David, thank you so much for taking the mantle and doing it so beautifully and enabling us to really have a beautiful Shabbat.
Thank you. Anytime. Thank you for the honor. And of course, our streaming folks, Phil in Washington State, enjoying the cool weather there. And of course, we have Arjun and Chris. Thank you. Guys, wave at the camera. All right. Thank you. I don't think you get enough credit, and that's not just because I'm there most of the time. But thank you. Thank you, of course. All right, Cantor, I believe we're ready to do the Aleinu now.
Yes, so we will continue with our closing prayers as we turn to page 282 for the Aleinu. And please rise as you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. Oh yeah. No. We should do that. Dina just reminded me that. You may be seated, please. Dina reminded me that this is the first Shabbat of the month, and as such, this is also a time for birthdays and anniversaries. And I believe that Dina is looking up to see if she has that wonderful list.
I am on the list. Okay.
Well, we don't want to miss people. And so Dina is looking that up right now.
We can ask everybody to come here, no, on the bima? Or?
Oh, do usually people come up on the bima?
Usually we have everybody come that is celebrating anything on the
Well,
first.
please-
But I
please-
don't know about the COVID.
I think it's going to be pretty light, the number of people, I think.
Okay.
So if you are comfortable and if you're able to rise and come up to the bima, if it is your birthday this month and it's an anniversary, please come on up. And we will definitely sing Shehecheyanu to all of you, and hopefully our dear president Dina right now is looking out for those birthdays. Ah, wait, Dina, come. Why don't you please tell the names of those people in our congregation who are celebrating their birthdays?
We're usually prepared. Okay, people celebrating their birthdays this month. On the 1st, Melody Volan and Jennifer Wilford, Mike Kritchmar, Kathy White, Diane Globerman, Joyce Piontek, Sandra Madrid, Jody Green, Dina Delgado, Noelle Singer and Karen Sane on the same day, Katie Fenton Strauss, Teresa Goldstein, Mike Kravitz, David Youngman. Congratulations, David. Jacob Kravitz, Ellie Ursus, Eleanor Richmond, Ed Ginter, David Kaplan, Hillary Aguirre, Carl Kaplowitz, Friedel Hoffman, Carol Fish, our very own Rabbi Mark Goldfarb, who will be back by then, Ariel Young, Tim Rosenfeld, Robert Block, Cher Kritchmar, Ann Melnick, and Gail Porter. And celebrating anniversaries this month, Les and Marcia Bronstein, Katie and Ryan Fenton Strauss, Rabbi Lawrence and Carol Goldmark, Raul and Pat Almada, and Dr. Joan Dengrove and Dr. Neil Schindel. And so we wish them all a hearty mazel tov.
And please join along in spirit as we sing a Shehecheyanu to all of those who are celebrating this month. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'hihiyanu lazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'hihiyanu lazman hazeh
Thank you for reminding us, Dina. Okay, we get to the part of a service now where we do the Kaddish, which is the Kiddush Yatom. And the Shiva and Shloshim, those are the last 30 days, as we have Malcolm de Burstein, brother-in-law of Lily Kramer. The yahrzeit list, we have Robert Joseph Fadum, Betty Small, Bob Lassen, Harriet Lefton, Miriam Rosen, Elsie Bornstein, Maurice Rosenblum, Stephen J. Paskus, Maurice Small, Mary Ruchman, Charlotte Abrams, Ethel Shine, David Aarons, Jack Dizan, Philip Shuken, Sam Rouse, Aaron Kaplan, Ted L. Robinson, Ida Horowitz Spanner, Esther Cohen, Bella Friedman, David L. Kessler, Lester David Cohen, Alex R. Palmer, Charles Pergund, Philip Kritchmar. On the Kaddish list, we have Enid Malkin, Phyllis Ryback Diamond, Marvin First, Robert Weber, Marvin J. Gilman, Elvira Amirez, Marlene Bilsema, Bernard Haber, Sam Ursus, Rosalie McKenzie, Hal Bruce Hamblin Jr., Joseph Roth, Mildred Sain, Harold Weber, Karen Copeland, Rita Silverman, Sandra Pascas, Marlene Engel, Leslie Pascas Amador, Edith Zaro, Concha Chavez, John Young, Gerald Kotkin, Ross M. Shear, Jenna Gordon, Doug Austin, Edith Chess, Berta Ursus, and Ann Phillips.
If there's anybody else who's remembering somebody for Yard Site Kaddish, please also mention them as well at this moment.
May we also remember the over 600,000 Americans who have died from COVID-19 and 755 Americans who have died by gun violence this week. Yes, oh my God, what a tragedy in Miami. They're still looking for the bodies, and I heard even Israel is helping in the effort to recover the bodies, and they're still hoping for survivors, but shall we remember them too? Yitkadal.
Please rise able, as we recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish.
Yes. You know, when I grew up in Israel, it was only the people that were...
We'll talk about one.
Okay. יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריך הוא לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
And for our closing song, we will sing in English, God Bless America. You may remain standing since that is also a custom singing this song, but please join along before we sing the Kiddush and say Amos. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. And we continue now with the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hintilanu zikaron le'maseh v'reishit yom techila le'mikrahe kodesh Zecher lisiat Mitzrayim Ki banu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim Shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava uvratzon inhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat Amen. Chaim?
Delight.
Hey, l'chaim. So that we can all dig in right after when we go into the oneg, we get beautiful challah out. Please join in with me with the saying Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
See you in the oneg.